Hello, Webster City Middle School. Today is Wednesday, October 14th.
This is Annabelle,
And Karina.
bringing you your middle school news in 2020.
A lot has happened, but that didn't stop our link spirit. Hey, I have on good authority that the 5th graders are spending some more time outdoors.
Yeah, let's hear about the class in the wild from Ryan and Aiden.
Hello, I'm Ryan. On the week of October the 5th through the 8th, the 5th graders got to go to Briggs Woods for School of the Wild. Each day was a different theme. On the first day, my group got to go to learn about the history and wildlife of Briggs Woods. On Monday, my group did the historical lesson, making a shelter, learning the history of Briggs Woods, and throwing at ladles. Now ladles a spear thrower that Native Americans used. The next day on Tuesday, my group went to the prairie. The things my group got to do were bird watching, planting milkweed, a scavenge hunt, and learning the history of pioneers in the prairies. Well, it's time to scavenge for Aiden.
Thanks, I'm Aiden, and as Ryan explained, 5th graders were doing School of the Wild last week at Briggs Woods. On Wednesday, my group did aquatics. We got to go fishing. And we also waded into the water using nets to get fish or bugs out of the water. We got to see and touch the fur pelts of many local mammals. We also played a game called Predator and Prey. The last of the lessons was about woodlands, and we got to build a birdhouse, cut down invasive plants and brush, build a fire and eat s'mores, dissect owl pellets to find bones and stuff. Then we hiked to a waterfall. We all had a great time and learned a lot. Now let's hike on over to the anchors.
Wow, that was pretty wild.
The 6th graders are doing some pretty wild things in science, too.
Sounds interesting. I'm sure Shamila can tell us all about it.
Hey WCMS, it's Shamila. This year, the 6th graders have been getting to go down to the science lab for the first time. We have been doing density, solubility, and flammability experiments, as well as identifying liquids. One of the experiments is finding out the melting points of 4 different liquids. We wafted the 4 samples to try to identify them by their smell. For flammability, we dipped paper in the different liquids and held them over the candle to see if they would burn. I know I like going down to the lab. I hope the rest of the 6th graders do too. Let's send it on over to Ian and let him weigh in.
Thanks, Shamila. I enjoyed the experiments too, but today I'm going to interview the new music teacher, Mr. Bolt. Hey, have you ever taught music before?
I have. I taught music for 2 years in South Dakota, and this is my 3rd year of teaching here at Webster City Middle School.
Interesting. Why do you like to teach music so much?
Music has always been a big part of my life ever since I was a young boy. In 1st grade, I started taking piano lessons and have really gotten involved in music and singing, in band, through playing my saxophone, as well as orchestra and playing my violin.
What is your favorite type of music?
My favorite type of music is a broad range of different things, from pop music to hip hop and rap to country. I enjoy a lot of different types of music.
Besides teaching, what would your dream job be?
It'd have to be something with music, like a music therapist. I've considered being a music therapist for the longest time and helping people with the healing power of music, or becoming a professional singer.
How has choir changed this year?
Good question, Ian. We have two different models in choir this year. The 7th grade model, we have a hybrid model where we have different students coming on different days, and we do a traditional choir sectional. The 8th grade model is the traditional model, and we have everyone coming in. However, we have certain restrictions in place where we go outside and do some work with all of our students, or we do some written work, or we do some hands-on projects.
Thanks. We're looking forward to getting to know you. That's all from me. Let's send it on over to the anchors.
Mr. Bolt is a pretty cool teacher. Don't you think, Annabelle?
Yeah, but do you know what I find pretty cool too?
What?
The imaginary countries that the 7th graders are establishing in geography class.
Hey WCMS, it's Ben, and it's been a busy year already at WCMS. Have you ever wanted to own a country? Well, in 7th grade geography, we're making our own countries. It's a part of a project to learn more about water and landforms by drawing them as part of our own country. First, we had to come up with a theme for our island. Then we had to draw our own island, and the land and water forms a part of it. Then we had to name our land and water forms that are on and around the island to make them fit with the theme of our island name. Finally, we colored it to make it look better. Well, that's all from me. Now it's painted on over to Olivia to learn about the new teacher.
Hey WCMS, Olivia here. Today I'm here with Mrs. Kaiser, the new art teacher, so we can learn a little bit more about her. Mrs. Kaiser, would you like to tell us anything about yourself?
Sure, I can tell you about myself. First of all, I have been an art teacher for 35 years. I started teaching when I was just 22 years old, and that was in 1985. Since then, I have taught in Iowa, I've taught in Kansas, I've taught in Missouri.
Wow. So, why did you start teaching art in the middle school?
Middle school is probably one of my favorite places to teach. I have taught 20 years in the elementary, just north of here in Lake Mills, Iowa. Recently, I've taught elementary in Keokuk, Iowa, and I always seem to go back to the middle school students because they're the most enjoyable.
How do you like the middle school so far?
I love the middle school so far. One of the things that I've noticed is we have some really creative students here at Webster City, and one of my ideas that I want to work with a lot is trying to get the artwork hung up in Webster City so other people can be aware of it.
What is your favorite thing to do in art, and what do you like doing with art the most, like painting or coloring or drawing?
My favorite thing that I like to do in art class is for sure the clay. The kids are really excited about using clay, and although that's probably one of the messiest things that you can do, it's also one of the funnest.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. We all welcome you and hope that you and everyone else has a great year. Well, that's all from me, so let's color on over to the anchors.
I haven't had Miss Kaiser for any classes yet, but she sounds like a fun teacher.
Yeah, she does. Do you know what else is fun, though?
Let me guess. Spirit Week?
You got it. And there's no better person for this report than Hank.
Let's hear what he has to say about our Spirit Weeks.
Hello students of WCMS. Last week students in the Webster City Middle School participated in Homecoming Week to support our Lynx football team. On Monday, students put on their favorite sports team merchandise for Team Day. On Tuesday, it was Twin Day, where friends dressed up the same. Wednesday, the school was filled with people dressed as highlighters, and others were dressed in camouflage for Camo versus Neon Day. Thursday, students dressed up as their favorite color for Roy G. Biv Day. And Friday, everyone was out supporting our school with purple and gold for homecoming.
Yeah, James is small. You're small. All right, big smile. Oh, no. Chuck E. Cheese.
Links on three. 1, 2, 3.
Hey.
All of that spirit looked great. Thank you, 8th grade student council, for decorating our school. Now let's keep that spirit and head on over to the anchors.
Last week was a blast.
Yeah, now for upcoming events. Teachers have professional development, which means no school for kids on Monday, October 19th, and conferences are on October 27th and 29th.
Volleyball and cross country ended, and it appears they had terrific seasons. You know what that means, Annabelle?
Yep, basketball starts soon.
Well, I hope everyone had a very spirited homecoming.
Even though the band didn't get to play in the parade, we'll end our show with the band practicing for their performance for the pregame.
And that's all for this show.
From the middle.
middle.